For every beloved Sony film that defined a generation, there's a hated one that's a complete disaster. Starting with one of the internet's favorite punching bags, Morbius. And trust me, the memes write themselves.
It's Morbin time.
Released in 2022, this vampire anti-hero film, starring Jared Leto, was supposed to launch Sony's Spider-Man universe into new heights. However, from the moment it hit theaters, audiences and critics absolutely tore it apart. Like, it was bad. This led to Morbius receiving comments like this. The fact that Sony thought this could compete with the MCU is embarrassing. This movie feels like it was made in 2005 and forgotten in a vault somewhere. I've never seen a movie try so hard to set up a cinematic universe that nobody asked for. However, Sony wouldn't take the hint. Instead, they doubled down when the film became an internet meme with the phrase, "It's Morbin time," which, and I can't stress this enough, was never actually said in the movie. Sony even re-released it in theaters, thinking the memes meant people actually liked it. Spoiler alert, they didn't. It bombed again. Imagine failing twice with the same movie. That takes talent. Ultimately, Morbius earned just $167 million worldwide against a $75 million budget, and that's not even counting marketing. Yikes. But here's the thing about Sony. Their entire studio lives and dies by Spider-Man. When they nail it, magic. When they miss, well, keep watching. Because while Morbius was busy becoming a meme, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse showed everyone how it's actually done. Released in 2018, this animated masterpiece straight up changed the game. With animation that literally looked like a comic book came to life, storytelling across multiple dimensions, and a soundtrack that went crazy, it became one of the most beloved animated films ever, period.
I love you, Miles.
Yeah, I know, Dad. See you Friday.
You gotta say I love you back.
Dad, are you serious?
I wanna hear it.
You wanna hear me
I
say
love
it?
you, Dad.
You're dropping me off out of school?
I love you, Dad.
Look at this place.
Dad, I love you.
Dad, I love you.
That's a copy. Tie your shoes, please.
But what really makes it special is how it tackles identity, legacy, and self-doubt without being preachy. It just hits different, you know? And fans noticed, leaving comments like, "This isn't just the best Spider-Man movie, it's one of the best animated films ever made, period." I've watched this 15 times and I still cry at the leap of faith scene. This movie is perfection. Like, when was the last time you watched a movie 15 times? Exactly. Spider-Verse swept award season, won the Oscar for Best Animated Feature, and proved Sony could actually deliver when they trusted creative vision over whatever Morbius was. The film grossed $384 million worldwide. Not bad for an animated Spider-Man movie nobody thought they needed. Here's what's wild though, Sony knows how to make incredible films. So why don't they do it more often? Let's talk about that. Unlike Spider-Verse, which respected its source material, Ghostbusters Answer the Call in 2016 became one of the messiest reboots in history, and not the fun kind of messy. When the all-female reboot was announced, the internet immediately started arguing. And look, the cast was talented. Melissa McCarthy, Kristen Wiig, Kate McKinnon, Leslie Jones. But the movie itself? It missed the mark completely. The trailer became the most disliked movie trailer on YouTube, ever. At the time anyway. And yeah, some criticism was rooted in straight-up sexism, but there were also legitimate concerns about the direction. But Sony's response? They basically called everyone who didn't like it a misogynist, which...
Let's light him up!
Which, you know, didn't help. This led to comments like, "I wanted to love this movie, but it feels like they forgot what made Ghostbusters special. Why does every joke have to be someone getting slimed? The original was actually clever." The film made $229 million against a $144 million budget. Sounds good, right? Wrong. Factor in marketing, and Sony lost over $70 million. The franchise died until 2021, when Ghostbusters Afterlife finally gave fans what they wanted, a movie that actually respected the original. But see, this is where Sony confuses me. While they're out here making Ghostbusters 2016, they also made The Social Network. You know, that little Oscar-winning masterpiece? Directed by David Fincher, written by Aaron Sorkin, starring Jesse Eisenberg and Andrew Garfield. This 2010 film about Facebook's creation is genuinely one of the best movies of the 2010s.
You better lawyer up, asshole, because I'm not coming back for 30%. I'm coming back for everything.
The movie examined friendship, betrayal, and what happens when you sacrifice everything for success. Heavy stuff. And people loved it. This is how you make a tech movie actually thrilling. Fincher is a genius. The fact that a movie about creating a website is this intense is insane. Like, it's literally about coding and lawsuits, and it's more tense than most action movies. That's talent. The Social Network made $225 million, won 3 Oscars, and is still talked about today. So clearly, Sony can make prestige cinema when they want to, which makes their next move even more baffling. Because in 2018, Sony released Venom, a movie that made $856 million worldwide, while critics absolutely destroyed it. How does that even happen? Here's the thing, Venom is a beautiful disaster. It's a body horror film that's PG-13. It's a dark anti-hero story that's also a buddy comedy. It can't decide what it wants to be. The tonal shifts are wild. One minute it's trying to be scary, the next Tom Hardy is eating lobsters out of a tank and arguing with a parasite. Critics were not impressed. This movie can't decide if it wants to be scary or funny, and fails at both. Tom Hardy is doing his best, but even he can't save this script. Meanwhile, Sony is still trying to build their own cinematic universe without Marvel's help, because that's been working out so well for them, right? But here's where it gets weird. Despite the hate, Venom got a cult following. The unintentional comedy, Hardy fully committing to the insanity, the whole odd couple dynamic, people genuinely enjoyed it. Fans defended it like, this movie is so bad it's good, and I love it. Venom eating that guy's head in the lobster tank is peak cinema, actually. And you know what? Fair. Sometimes a movie is just fun even when it's objectively a mess. The box office success spawned a sequel, proving that sometimes money talks louder than critics. But it also proves Sony learned absolutely nothing. Speaking of learning nothing, remember when I said Sony's entire existence depends on Spider-Man? This next one almost killed the whole franchise. The Amazing Spider-Man 2, released in 2014. Where do I even start with this train wreck? Sony tried to cram 3 villains, Electro, Green Goblin, and Rhino, into one movie. They added a mystery about Peter's parents that nobody asked for. They set up a Sinister Six movie that never happened. It was a disaster. And the worst part, Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone had insane chemistry.
No, please, please.
The Gwen Stacy death scene was genuinely heartbreaking, but it's buried in a movie that cared more about selling Happy Meals than telling a story. Critics and fans destroyed it. Sony saw what Marvel was doing and learned all the wrong lessons. They killed the franchise by trying to rush what Marvel built over a decade. Ouch, but also accurate. It made $709 million, which sounds great until you realize it cost a fortune and killed all goodwill. More importantly, it murdered Sony's Spider-Man franchise so bad, they had to call Marvel and beg for help. And that desperate phone call, it led to the biggest movie Sony's ever made. Spider-Man No Way Home released in 2021, the movie that proved superhero films could still be events. By bringing back Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield with Tom Holland, Sony delivered pure fan service that actually had emotional weight. It wasn't just nostalgia bait, it was a love letter to Spider-Man.
Do this ready? Wait. I love you guys. Thank you.
All right, let's do this.
The movie balanced action, humor, and genuine emotion. It gave Andrew's Spider-Man redemption. It honored Tobey's legacy. It pushed Tom's character forward. Chef's kiss. Fans went insane. I've never heard a theater react like when Tobey and Andrew showed up. Pure magic. This is what happens when you actually care about the story and the fans. No Way Home made $1.9 billion worldwide. Sony's highest grossing film ever. 6th highest grossing film of all time. See, when Sony gets Spider-Man right, it prints money. Unfortunately, they still haven't learned their lesson. Because in 2024, they released Madam Web, and oh boy, this movie is something else. With a plot about psychic spider people that makes zero sense, dialogue that sounds AI generated, and a villain whose entire motivation is, I had a bad dream. This film was dead before it even released. He was in the Amazon with my mom when she was researching spiders right before she died. This line became a meme.
I've seen that man before.
So who is he?
Ezekiel Sims. He was in the Amazon with my mom when she was researching spiders right before she died.
It perfectly captures how absolutely ridiculous the entire movie is. And unlike Morbius, there's no ironic love here, just mockery. The reviews were brutal. Madam Web makes Morbius look like the Godfather. I genuinely don't understand how this script got greenlit. Think about that. A movie so bad it makes Morbius look good. That's impressive in the worst way. The film made $100 million on a $100 million budget. Before marketing, Sony lost a fortune and their Spider-Man universe credibility. But you know what's crazy? The movie that started Sony's Spider-Man obsession is still the best superhero film they've ever made. Spider-Man 2, the 2004 Sam Raimi masterpiece. This is where it all began. Directed by Sam Raimi, starring Tobey Maguire, with Alfred Molina as Doc Ock. This movie perfected the superhero formula before the MCU even existed. But what makes this special isn't just the action, it's that Peter Parker loses his powers because of stress. In 2004, that was revolutionary. A superhero movie about mental health? Groundbreaking.
He's just a kid. No older than my son.
Fans still talk about this movie. Spider-Man 2 is the best superhero movie ever made, and I will die on this hill. The train scene alone is better than entire MCU phases. Strong words, but honestly, they might be right. The film made $788 million in 2004 money, and won an Oscar. It proved Sony could make masterpieces when they trusted filmmakers. But trusting creatives, that's not really Sony's thing anymore. Because while they were making Spider-Man 2, they were also capable of the Emoji Movie, released in 2017, a monument to corporate greed. This movie is literally just product placement disguised as a story. It's brain rot in animated form. Every joke was outdated before the movie released. It's everything wrong with modern animation. Critics destroyed it. The Emoji Movie is proof that not every idea deserves to be a feature film. I'd rather watch Morbius twice than sit through this again. When critics say they'd rather watch Morbius than your movie, you done messed up. But here's the kicker. It has a 7% on Rotten Tomatoes, but still made $217 million worldwide. Let that sink in. 7%, and it still made money, which is exactly why Sony keeps making garbage, because sometimes garbage sells. From the brilliance of Spider-Verse to the disaster of Madam Web, Sony's filmography is pure chaos. They've made Oscar winners and internet memes, sometimes in the same year. They can make The Social Network and Morbius, Spider-Man 2, and the Emoji Movie. They're capable of genius and absolute brain rot. And that's Sony's real curse. They know how to make incredible films. They just choose not to most of the time. If you enjoyed this video, let me know which Sony movie shocked you the most in the comments. Was it Morbius bombing twice? The Emoji Movie making $217 million? Drop a comment below, and be sure to check out our next video.